if I have the democratic means to remove this government in tomorrow, I will remove this government if I have the democratic means. But I don't have the democratic means, which means I have to wait for 2 years to do so. And like Mr. Onanuga, we are not toppling this government. We are going to democratically remove this government. It is cheap blackmail to say people are planning to oust this government. No, we are challenging this government, on the democratic process and to remove it. If I can do that, if there is a way that constitutionality and democracy allows us to remove this government tomorrow, we will do it.
Hello guys, welcome once again to Think Tank TV. Now that was Adamu Waziri, who happens to be the former Minister of Police Affairs in Nigeria, and you can hear his words that has sparked reactions on the internet. Now, as pressure continued to mount from the ADC on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's removal, reactions has continued to trill from the different quarters of APC and ADC. And one of the most recent of them was the words of Bayo Onanuga, who happens to be the media aide to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has accused the ADC of plotting to take over the government owing to one or two of their actions. And the ADC has come out to refute that claim, stating that that is a cheap way of trying to blackmail them in order to do your best to get them arrested. Now, recently, there has been this backlash, and the information we have has it that 3 of the ADC members who happens to be against the David Mark faction has sued ADC leadership headed by David Mark, stating that they hijacked the party. And a lot of people are beginning to say that this is obviously orchestrated by the APC in order to ensure they continue to run the one-state political party. Now, just recently, there was an interview that was held in Arise News where Professor Chris has come out to disintegrate the nitty-gritty surrounding the ADC crisis that is obviously sparking reactions on the internet. I'd like you to take a look at the points he made that was obviously very intellectually captivating. Do your best to sit back as I'll be coming back to give you my own thoughts about it.
All right, let's begin the conversation with the issue on ground, which would be this new infighting that we are already seeing within the coalition. It has barely even begun to take its first breath, and we're already seeing a lot of issues as it pertains to the membership and its leadership as well. What do you have to say about what this situation could imply, especially as they get ready for 2027? And the realities on ground about the present members of the party versus the people who are now joining, who may have also their own ambition as well within the party.
Catching my first take on the issues you've reeled out is, who are these 3 individuals? What are their positions in the ADC? And why now? Very interestingly, when we discuss issues about politics and the way forward for our country, there's this phraseology, we're all used to it. The witch cried last night, the child dies this morning, and then you make your conjectures. The first thing I must put before our listeners is the fact that the Labour Party is going through issues regarding leadership and a crisis of confidence. So is the PDP. Leadership issues and the crisis of confidence. And then when the coalition tinkered with the chances of using the SDP, the crisis of leadership and trust visited this SDP. And when the coalition thought about the options of using ADA, INEC sent feelers and said it was very unlikely to register ADA, and the coalition settled quickly for ADC, the African Democratic Congress, and now certain individuals, 3 individuals goes to court to raise the issues, and then you ask yourself, Kachi, who is the drummer? Who is the puppeteer? And who are the puppets? I think that the first thing we must note going forward as a people and as a nation is the fact that the tendency towards a one-party state is a no-no for democracy.
Why do you think that people won't go to court? Even Dumebi Kachiku, who was the presidential candidate of the party in 2023, is saying that this can be right and that he might go to court too.
First, has the ADC been hijacked? The answer is a no. The neck of a party, the leadership of a party, accepted and massively endorsed the takeover of the party. They resigned willingly to allow for a coalition, a redemptive coalition. The emergent coalition was not coerced on them. That's point number one. And point number two, Dumebi Kachuku had problems with Ralph Okenwosu and the leadership of the party before the 2023 elections. So the question first, Steve, is, was he really in the ballot? Go check the records. There was a lot of battles and he was suspended before the election. So there's a whole lot of gamut of information, absolutely, albeit very inconsistent, tilting towards helping the ruling party and Mr. President. But what is important for me is the fact that we live with a prevailing urgency. Steve, the need for a coalition is not necessarily about political tendencies, politics, and people who have ambition. It's about a redemptive call. There's a challenge to save our country, and now is the time. And if the coalition has found home in the ADC, we shall collectively resolve the contradictions. Now, very importantly, which is what enamels the carapace of my mind, how do we handle the ambition of Atiku Abubakar and the ambition of my dear brother Peter Gregory Obi? Now, Steve, the reality of now takes us back to what happened in 2013-2014, when there was a coalition that led to the formation of the APC. We had almost about 9 presidential candidates. It wasn't an easy sell. And then they signed an understanding, a memorandum of understanding, that whoever emerged the candidate of a party would be supported by the others. Samanda Adzaya, Rochas Okorocha, Kwakwanso, Nasir Rufai, several other persons ran for the presidential ticket, and eventually when Muhammadu Buhari took the ticket, they supported him. You know, I don't know why the APC and raging partisans are more interested in how we resolve the issues between Atiku Abubakar, Peter Gregory Obi, Rotimi Amechi than we are concerned. We're talking about building an ideological foundation sufficient to rescue and redeem our country. And then
yourself. Now, the truth is that, like I keep saying, the APC would not fold their hands and watch you form a coalition that will come and smoke them out of office. Of course, every wise politician understands the implications of a coalition. Like I said the last time, that it is a coalition that brought about Muhammadu Buhari's presidency, where a lot of parties came together to smoke out Goodluck Jonathan, and it worked, yours truly. Of course, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC also knows the implications of allowing this coalition to gain serious momentum, because they know that that is tantamount to possibly smoke them out of office. But here again, there are key issues, just like it was spoken by Professor Chris. The truth is that the core political heavyweights in ADC must keep sentiment and greed apart, because the truth is, this is the only thing that can make the ADC to not be formidable. We all know that Peter Obi is insisting he's going to be contesting for the presidential election. And information we have has it that recently, after a lot of people mounted pressure on Atiku Abubakar to step aside and allow Peter Obi from the South to bear the flag of ADC, Atiku has recently come out to say no, they should allow a free and fair primaries, that anybody that emerges in the primaries can have the day, that's to become the flag bearer of ADC. But a lot of people are also predicting that this is exactly what Atiku Abubakar did when he was in PDP, that made Wike to hijack the party. Of course, we know that Atiku Abubakar would do his best to to influence the delegates and get the flag of ADC. And that may begin to bring a fracas in the ADC, which is what a lot of people would see as their downfall. The truth is that they must do their best to keep personal sentiments apart, just like many people have come out to say. Many people are saying that the reason why these political heavyweights in ADC are hell-bent on removing Tinubu is not necessarily because they have love for Nigeria as a country, but because some of them are trying to express their resentment for some of the failures President Bola Ahmed Tinubu may have done to them. And the truth is, if that is the reason why they are forming this ADC, as much as I believe that that is the way to go, it may bring about a failure in the party.